Hey, everybody, it's your friend James Shaw. Thank you so much for joining us again this afternoon. We're doing what we do, which is always talk to some agent who's doing something great at a high level. And we've got that today, as a matter of fact. We're in the Carolinas with Micah. You're on the state line. You're right there. Rock Hill is just down from Charlotte, right?
We're right across the border. So
Yeah, there you go. So selling in both states, and you've got a great business. Would you introduce yourself? Tell us who you are and where you are and a little bit about the business.
Absolutely. Well, first off, I want to thank you, James, for letting me for this opportunity. I think a lot of you and what you've done and built around you. I got into real estate in 2020, and that's kind of when I first saw you. And for me, I was just born and raised in Rock Hill, South Carolina. I'm a veteran. I went in the Air Force, come out of the Air Force, and went into the telecommunications world and did that. And I was a dual career in the year 2020. So great time to start in real estate right when COVID hit. And I did a dual career from April to December and went full-time 100% into real estate in 2021 and haven't looked back. And it's been a huge blessing, and I just love it.
Thank you for your service in the Air Force, and you're welcome. And thank you for being on this with us. You were selling more than a house a week. About a house and a half a week is what you did in 2024. So what you're doing is working. You built it in a very short time, in a really challenging time to build the business. And when we decided to interview you and have you on, and we were like, well, what do you do that's so great? You're like, nothing. I just do what I'm supposed to do. But that's a concept that I like to try to teach to people. I teach to just go be boring. Just go show up and do what you're supposed to do. Well, what is it, Micah, that you're supposed to do? Tell me.
Hey, I mean, for me, I'm just a simple old country boy, and I like to keep things simple. So I think for my business, I just keep things simple. I try to get in front of as many people as I can every day. Talk to as many people as I can. Of course, we all know this is a numbers game. So the more people you talk to and the more people you're in front of, the better odds you're going to have to that they're going to think of you when it's time for them to go and buy and sell. So for me, I get up early in the morning. As you can tell, I'm a little on the chunky side, but I do F3. I don't know if you ever heard of it or not, but it's a men's group, and it's fitness, fellowship, and faith are the 3 Fs. So I try to get up 2 to 3 times a week there, get in front of men, get in front of people that are kind of like-minded, so to speak, looking to work out. I feel like, people that sweat together, stick together. So that's been a huge source of business for me. And when I get home, I get in the shower, I get up and see just how many people I can get in front of that day. But I try to keep things natural. I know for me, you're probably not going to catch me at the yoga place, doing yoga or something like that. But for me, I go to Ducks Unlimited. I'm an outdoorsman. I like to hunt and fish. I'm heavily involved in Ducks Unlimited and getting in front of those guys and just keeping things natural. Trying not to get outside of myself and into spaces that, I'm really not comfortable with. With me, just staying in front of folks and doing what I like to do and kind of going from there.
Is that the key to this? Is know what you're good at, know what you're into, and then just try to be in those spaces. It probably makes lead gen a little bit more natural and a little less forced.
It does. I mean, yeah, absolutely. For me, as you can tell, for me, I have a slight accent. And so for me, cold calling, I tried cold calling and I've tried lead genning through calling expireds and that sort of thing. But for me, for folks that don't know me, I just really honestly didn't do well over the phone with folks that didn't already know me. But for the people that already know me and have known me for all my life and have been around me, and I've had a strong following on Facebook, even prior to getting into real estate. I think it just helps, just being around people that already kind of have recognize me and know me. And I just try to stay within myself, trying to know myself. The older I've gotten, I think, I've gotten to know myself more. And hey, I know what I'm good at and I know what I'm not good at. And I really lean heavy on the things that I'm good at.
If I didn't know you were from Rock Hill, I'd have said, what part of the Carolinas are you from, right? The second
right.
You start talking. So that's really good. All right. So you brought up, you've got your men's workout group. I know you're part of Rotary, so you go there a couple times a month.
I do.
You say you're active on Facebook, though. So tell me, how are you active? Like, how is that part of your lead gen strategy?
All right. So that's a great question. So, of course, all of these things that I talk about that I do, of course, I want to do more. on Facebook. But one thing I really try to do is every morning when it's first thing when I open my computer up is go to Facebook and wish everybody in my friends list whose birthday it is a happy birthday. For some reason, I feel like that just kind of helps me stay in front of those folks in their feeds. And I also try to do video. I was real apprehensive, of course, because I have a little, I don't know what the word is, but self-consciousness, I guess, about my accent and being around folks. But once I got over myself, and I think that's huge, just get over yourself, get on video, get on Facebook. And I'm telling you, when I do a Facebook video, it seems like my phone just starts ringing the next couple of days with leads. And it's just staying in front of those folks. And I mean, for me, it was a huge hurdle for me to get over myself, to get out there. But once I have, it really pays off.
I built a whole business on doing videos on Facebook, right? That's what my whole business is. It totally works. I'm curious about, what are you doing? What kind of videos are you doing on Facebook?
So I do a little bit of everything. So if I have a new listing, of course, I'll hop on there. My pop-up events. So I try to do these little pop-up events throughout the year. I'll hop on and do a video about those, inviting people to come out to the pop-up events. So nothing fancy, just talking about real estate mostly. And I do everything off of my personal page. I've had a business page in the past, but honestly, I was getting more traction from this posting on my personal page. Whether that's the right way or not, I don't know. It's worked for me.
Well, it's working for you. You're doing, like I said, a house and a half a week, basically. So it's working for you. You say you do videos about your pop-up events. So that's the next one. The events you do are a big deal. And by the way, for our Inspire members, Mike has shared his pop-up event playbook with us. So if you're an Inspire member, you have that as a free download. Just go in the portal at jamesdshaw.com and you can download his playbook on these pop-up events. If you're not an Inspire member, you can get info about it at the website as well. But tell them about these pop-up events.
Okay. So these are really, really easy. I'm telling you, like I talked about, is I like to keep things simple and easy. So for me, what I did was looked online. There's websites, and on the sheet that goes out to the Inspire, you'll see it. There's some websites you can go to that tells you, like, it's a National Donut Day. All right. So of course you can look at me. I like a donut. All right. So I've done donuts, I've done coffee, I've done pizza, pop-up events, anything that you're kind of into and you think that your friends and family might enjoy and come hang out with you and do. So I pick an event. I start about 2 weeks prior to whatever this day is, a national day, or it doesn't really have to be on that national day. Just do it. But I go on Facebook and I'll do a little video. Hey, I'm going to invite everybody, all my friends, to come to PW's. I love ice cream. There's a place here in town called PW's Ice Cream, man. It's the best ice cream in Rock Hill if you ever get there. But so I show up there. About 2 weeks before, I'll hop on a video, invite people. Hey, y'all come see me on Sunday. I'll be set up from 1 to 3, free ice cream. Bring your mama, grandma, aunts, and uncles, whoever, the kids. And I'm telling you, people just show up. They love ice cream. They love just coming and hanging out and doing things like that. That was probably the biggest turnout I had, was the ice cream event. But it's pretty simple. And then, I try to capture their info when they come, of course, and try to follow up with them and say, hey, thanks for showing up. Thanks for coming and hanging out. And also, as far as cost wise, so if you're new or newer, don't have a real big budget, find you a vendor or two that can help co-sponsor it with you. I think for the ice cream event, it was less than $500. And I had over 100 and some people show up for ice cream.
And you got phone numbers of the ones you didn't know. You followed up.
Absolutely.
I imagine you're doing some sort of follow-up text or message to them or calling them or something, right, for coming to your ice cream party?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So once you have that list, just follow up and say, hey, thanks for coming. If I can ever do anything for you, just reach out.
You know what I love about what you're telling us is that and again, I brought it up earlier, but you're saying, I love ice cream, so I go to my favorite ice cream place. You like donuts, you go to your favorite donut place. For here, we've got, if I was selling here in Safety Harbor, I've got my favorite coffee shop right down the way. Like, that's where I would go do this, have a cup of coffee on me, sort of thing. Is this part of why this is working for you so quickly? The fact that you're in the 65 to 70 units a year range 4 years into the business. Is it just because you're staying in your space, you're staying in your lane, and you're being you?
Yeah, I think so, James. That's the only thing that I can attribute it to, is this. to stand in front of the people that I know and already kind of like and trust me. You know, I think there's a huge what you call low hanging fruit, so to speak. You know, with our sphere of influence, and I think there's still room for me to grow, because honestly, I don't call everybody like I should on a quarterly basis. So there's still a lot of work that I can put into this and grow this business even bigger without having to really leave outside of my sphere and my comfort zone of where I'm serving.
Well, based on your experience over the last 4 years, what advice would you give to someone who's looking to get more purposeful with their database and their community?
I would say just get up. I mean, I grew up with working at a very young age in a family business. I started working at 12 years old. It's just hard work. I think, you just get up and go to work. Put in the time. Get in front of as many people as you want to. When life tries to beat you down, and real estate tries to beat you down, because we all know that, hey, this is not an easy career. There's tough days. There's been days where, I had a deal blow up or had something go wrong the day before. And you laying in bed like, man, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? You know what? Get up, go to work, put your boots on, and get after it, and to get in front of as many people that you can, and just be yourself. Don't try to be anything that you're not. Just be you. We're all uniquely created. And I really feel like if you just be yourself and really come at folks and clients with a heart of really wanting to help and serve and doing the right thing every time, even when it's the hard thing to do, it's just going to work out.
How do you hope to build on this success in 2025? What are some things you've got planned for this year to allow you to continue to grow and support your community?
So I just hired a new admin about 3 weeks ago. So I'm really, once we get our feet under us and get comfortable and get trained up, Candace, she's great and she's going to be great. And once we get going, we're really going to streamline some processes to be able to free me up, to be able, because
Micah, we're having an issue with the video. I think you're still there, but you've hired this admin with the hope of freeing up some of your time.
Exactly.
Just so that you can narrow your focus in calling your database more, focusing on your events, staying connected to your community. Did I get that right? We had a little video hiccup.
Absolutely. That's 100% correct.
Yeah.
So really just streamlining things and so I can do the things I'm better at versus being in front of a computer doing the paperwork side of things.
Yeah, good for you. We'll get out of that. You
Yes.
seem like you're a good belly to belly,
Absolutely.
face to face, friendly kind of person. So getting you out there more will only add to the business. What's the biggest lesson you've learned in this 4 years?
Probably rollback taxes.
Yes, I heard about this one. This was a boo-boo, but you know what? It was a lesson. Tell us about that.
Absolutely, yeah. So as a new agent, so in 2020, of course, like I said, I was a dual career. So I was getting up to towards that January timeline, and I had an old friend that I used to work with, and she reached out to me and said, "Hey, I have a letter on my door from a builder, somebody that's interested in my 100 and some odd acres that she had that was left to her in the family." But anyway, so she asked me, "Hey, will you go sit in with me and help advise me through this process?" I said, "Heck yeah, I'd love to." So long story short, we got a contract. It was not on a standard North Carolina or South Carolina contract. It was a contract from the developer. So, hotshot young realtor here, I thought that I probably knew more than I actually did. And instead of taking that contract that I was not familiar with and sitting in front of my broker or actual an attorney, real estate attorney, to advise us and make sure we had all of our I's dotted and T's crossed, we went forward. Everything was smooth as butter until we get to the closing table. And we got to the closing table, and this attorney, the closing attorney, already had it highlighted in here where seller to pay rollback taxes. And he mentioned, "Hey, I'm on the phone with Chester County trying to figure out how much of this rollback tax will be." And the client looked at me, and it was a look that I never, ever want to receive ever again in my life. It was just a look of disappointment and letdown. So we went to lunch. Come find out, guess how much the rollback taxes were? It was $24,500 for the rollback tax, and wouldn't you know it, my commission check was almost to the penny of what that rollback tax was. She didn't ask me for the rollback. She said, hey, we didn't know, this and that. And I got home that night and I couldn't sleep. So the next morning I got up and went to the bank, and I knew if I wrote her a personal check, she would rip it up if I took it to her. But I went to the bank. I got a certified bank check from to her to cover that $24,500. So I handed her back that commission check at a time when, I was transitioning. I had put in my 2 weeks notice to quit my job, and I was like looking forward to that 24,000 sitting in the bank to kind of pull me through. But I feel like that's been a huge part of my success. Actually, is just doing the right thing, even when it's tough. I do say that, and I mean it. Sometimes things happen, and huge mistakes happen, and I try to tell a lot of folks that story now. It wasn't a story I'm proud of, and haven't been.
Right.
But if somebody else can learn from it,
Yep.
I absolutely try to tell it. But I think the main thing, no matter the money or any of that piece, is just do the right thing. If you know in your heart, and I don't know, for me, it was, I got home that night and God was sitting there tapping at my door. Hey, what you going to do about this to make this right? And I did, and He's blessed me for it. And I think that's a huge part of my success in my business, actually, James.
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely stinks in the moment. You feel bad for your client. Your client's a little bit probably frustrated with you as well, not knowing about it. You've made a mistake. You're embarrassed by it. Then it cost you $24,000 at a time you didn't have $24,000. And yet now, if you fast forward just a few years later, the business is great. It's growing. I imagine that client's probably not mad at you anymore.
No,
right.
Not.
Right. So you move forward. Well, the truth is you do something. So next time somebody asks how you build a business, it's not, I don't do anything. We just got 15 plus minutes of what you do. Thank you for sharing it with us. We're so proud of you. We appreciate you pouring into our community, and we wish you all the best here in 2025.
James, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate you.